Here's Dave Schroeder from Action 2 Sports.
When it comes to Melvin Gordon, don't you dare call it Heisman hype. It is not hype. Gordon is the real deal. The Badger back sets the all-time single-game rushing record today with 408 yards. The Badgers and Huskers fighting for the upper hand in the Big Ten West Division. It was 26 degrees at kick, the coldest game at Camp Randall in 50 years. But the cold never bothered him anyway. Down 17-3, no problem. Gordon with the 62-yard rushing touchdown. He hurdles and scores. Badgers back within 7, and MG3 just getting started. Bo Pelini showing his trademark temper, and he's not going to like this either. Gordon bounces back, then makes Huskers miss. He goes 39 yards this time. Wisconsin would score one play later to tie the game. Gordon with 238 rushing yards in the first half. Hard to believe, but yes, that was only half of it. Third quarter, Gordon on the jet sweep, 43 yards. He is finally brought down inside the one. He would score one play later, and then Gordon to the right, 68 yards. Again, Gordon would score one play later. That made it 3 touchdowns and 369 yards. But he was not done. Coming up on the final play of the third quarter, the record breaker, a 26-yard touchdown. It is 4:08 on the day as Gordon eclipses the all-time NCAA record, passing LaDainian Tomlinson's 4:06. The Badgers with 56 unanswered points. Wisconsin wins 59-24. Gordon 408 yards today, now 1,909 through 10 games this season. And why don't you just look at him? He is Heisman.
Words really can't explain, you know.
For some perspective on Gordon's crowning achievement in his Heisman candidacy, well, that guy, Eddie Lacy, he's no slouch, and he has 478 rushing yards this year. Gordon with 408 today, and he only played 3 quarters. Speaking of yards, if Jordy Nelson continues to torch defenders, you can expect some penalty yards to help the Packers' cause against the Eagles. Well, he's no stat guy, but Nelson would sure appreciate it if chunks of 53 yards like this counted in his column.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow for Sunday Sports Night Cover 2. Linebacker Mike Neal will join us in studio to help break down the game. The Phoenix men and women both preseason picks to win the Horizon League, tipping off their seasons today. We start with the boys, home at the Resch, celebrating fallen military members with red, white, and blue unis. Kiefer Sykes and company start in style. Alley-oop for Greg Mays right off the bat. Moments later, Sykes takes it himself, and it is quickly 4-0. However, Illinois Springfield would keep it close early. The game was tied at 18 apiece, but then the Phoenix go on a 28-7 run. They close the half with that run, and they win 88-57. Sykes had 22 points. Trisha Whitaker has more.
As the Phoenix...
Thanks, Trisha. The Phoenix women at Marquette, and Green Bay would show them how it's done. Ellen Edison, 2 of her 13 points. And then the freshman, Jessica Lindstrom, was 5 for 5 today in her debut. 12 points for the freshman. But former Notre Dame Triton Allie LeClaire would lead all scorers with 15 points as the Phoenix roll, 94-66. Well, today, 2 more state semifinal games in high school football. In Division II, Menasha shut out by Homestead for most of the game, 7-0, 3 minutes to go. But instead of kicking the field goal, Homestead goes for it on 4th and 1, and that plan backfires. The Blue Jays, scoreless all day, march 92 yards, and the quarterback, Tyler Johnson, calls his own number, touchdown, and Menasha's got some guts. They go for 2 and the win for a trip to state, and Johnson, nearly tackled, pitches it to Jaden Sell, who scores, and the Blue Jays are headed to Camp Randall for the first time ever.
Welcome one, welcome all. Time for Operation Football. 3 weeks left before the postseason begins. This game of the week, a contest that ESPN wanted to air, a battle of unbeatens in the FRCC. Ashwaubenon at Bayport, the first home game of the season for the Pirates on their new field. Finally finished and ready for the spotlight tonight. Trisha Whitaker brings us the action.
Well, it was Bayport's first game on.
Thanks, Trisha. In any other week, this would be the game of the week. Freedom at Xavier, both undefeated in the Eastern Valley. The winner should go on to claim that conference crown. We pick it up late in the fourth quarter. Freedom leading 15-12, but Xavier puts together a drive, converting 3 fourth downs. John Feldhausen punches it in, and Xavier takes an 18-15 lead.
But that was too much time left on the clock for Freedom, and Andrew Connolly going to get it done. He hits Brett Schomer. That's the game winner. Freedom wins 22-18. The Irish poised to claim their first conference crown in more than a dozen years. To the VFA South, Oshkosh North looking to stay perfect in conference play against one-loss Neenah. The Spartans would get things going right away. First drive, Alex Hintz breaks loose. He's got the speed that you need. 61-yard score. Well, not a score. Tackled just shy of the goal line. No worries, though. A few plays later, Hintz gets the payoff. Finish what you start. Trots in 6 points. That's all they need. It would be a shutout today. The defense doing the rest. Zach Hamzen with a sack. Oshkosh North wins 16-0. To the VFA North, the #1 team in the state. Kimberly hosting Wausau West. First place on the line tonight. Third quarter, no problem. Kimberly's Austin Wyenberg finds Jake Johnson 27-7. That same duo connects 11 minutes later, going the other way. Wyenberg to Johnson. Kimberly wins it 34-7. To the Bay Conference, West De Pere 2 weeks away from a date with Menasha to decide the conference crown at Denmark tonight. Phantoms first possession. Dom Conway scampers in for 6. Phantoms on the board. And they would take advantage of a Viking fumble on the next drive. They punch it in as well. Denmark would not go quietly into the night. After a lengthy drive, Nick Kufalk takes it into the corner for the score. That would be the only Viking score of the evening. West De Pere wins 42-7. To Menasha, the Blue Jays facing undefeated Mounds View out of Minnesota. The 5th-ranked team in Minnesota's biggest division, undefeated, so a true test tonight. Under 11 minutes left in the first quarter, Matt Rohde, big run for the score. Menasha goes up 7-zip. To the second quarter, Mustangs punt blocked by Austin Boehm, recovered by Isaac Erdman, and that put Menasha on the 17-yard line. Coming up 4th down, Johnson looking to score, but sacked by Logan McCanny. That stops the Menasha drive, but Menasha would win it 21-0. Back to the FRCC. Preble still unbeaten in conference play. Remember, they lost that opener to Ashwaubenon, but that was a non-conference game. They trail the Redbirds in the 4th quarter, taking chances. 4th down, stop for De Pere. Next set of downs, well, a sack. Coy Wadner goes down, then Wenner goes down again. He's getting beaten, he's getting bruised, dropping back to pass on 3rd down. Well, he doesn't get hit, well, at least until the ball's away, but the ball is picked off. Final score, De Pere 14, Preble zip. To the Central Wisconsin 8. Shiocton and Bondwell battling for second place, both with only one loss this season. Second quarter down 7-zip. Shiocton strikes back. Brandon Spencer finds Austin Real. He's the real deal. Tie game 7-7. Still in that second quarter, Bondwell going for it on 4th down near midfield, but Danny Tauschen is denied. Shiocton stops him short. The Bears turn it over, and that led to this on a very windy night. No kick is a guarantee. A 40-yard boot, though, is good, and Shiocton wins it 27-7. To the Eau Large on the windswept prairie, a zebra sighting. A Southern Door safari. Soto hosting Kewanee, both with just one loss on the season. Very cold, very windy. Second quarter, Austin Kastner scores, tying the game 6-6. And every kick, as I mentioned, an adventure. Both PATs to start this one, no good. But Soto responds. Mitchell Neubauer looks off the safety and hits Mitchell Guerin. Touchdown, and Southern Door goes on to win 33-18. Well, that'll be it for the high school highlights, but coming up when we come back, Julius Peppers has made big plays this year, but he's got some work to do on those Lambeau leaps. Jordy Nelson offers sage advice in that department next. Welcome back. Believe it or not, there's an art to the Lambeau leap, and Julius Peppers is still learning. At 6'7", the former North Carolina hoop star had a little trouble lifting off last night in Green Bay's 42-10 triumph over the Vikings. After his 10th career interception, Peppers scored his 5th career touchdown. But then on his first ever Lambeau leap, the leg's a little tired, only his torso clearing the wall to celebrate with waiting fans.
It was actually pretty tough to get up there.
Perhaps Micah Hyde will use the telestrator to break it all down. There were a lot of Lambeau leaps on Thursday night. This week, Hyde, our guest for Sunday Sports Night Cover 2. Join us Sunday, 10:35 p.m. Well, on Saturday, the Badgers will be seeking their first win at Northwestern since 1999. The Wildcats not exactly an offensive juggernaut this year. They rank 103rd in the nation in total offense. Last year, the Badgers were preparing for an option attack. This year, senior Trevor Siemian is more of a traditional passer. He had a woeful start to the season with only 2 touchdowns and 4 picks, but he rammed in 3 one-yard touchdowns in last week's 29-6 Northwestern win at Penn State.
They're going to try to pass aside.
The best running back in the nation resides in Madison, but not for long. The NFL awaits for Melvin Gordon III, another monster day on the ground, and now 1,500 rushing yards through 9 games this season. Go ahead, reserve Gordon a seat at Heisman night in New York. The Badgers visiting the Boilers today. First quarter, Gordon scores, and the Badgers take a 7-3 lead on the road. Then the first play of the Badgers' next drive, Gordon on the jet sweep, and he's got the speed that you need. 47 yards to set up a Badgers field goal. Wisconsin rolling on. Later in the first half, and Gordon can catch it too. Joel Stave looking down the left sideline. Gordon hurdles his way for the score. It was 24-6 at the half. Gordon had 205 rushing yards, 44 receiving yards, and the Badgers win it 34-16.
You got to understand on the road.
Well, as Charles Woodson would say, it's the same old Jay. Just wait, and he will throw the defense the ball. Jay Cutler tossing 2 more interceptions against Green Bay back in Week 4. Cutler has been picked off at least once in every game that he has played for the Bears against the Packers. That's 10 career games and 19 career interceptions against the Packers. And Green Bay's defenders do not want to mess up that mojo they have going against that gift-giving quarterback from Santa Claus, Indiana.
I think we should stop talking about it.
Well, tonight the Bucks playing host to the 6-0 Memphis Grizzlies. A big chance for Jason Kidd's young team to gain some confidence. The Bucks up 1 in the second quarter, and 19-year-old Giannis Antetokounmpo the block. Then the rookie Jabari Parker on the break throws it down. The Bucks up 3. The Bucks were down 1 in the fourth quarter when Jared Bayless steals it and lobs it ahead for the Greek freak. Giannis puts the Bucks on top by 1. Under 2 minutes to play, the Bucks still up 1 until Zach Randolph puts it back to put Memphis on top. Under 10 seconds to go. Brandon Knight drives past the defender, puts it in, and 1. He makes the free throw, and the Bucks hand the Grizzlies their first loss this season. How about some more high school football? Level 3 playoffs. Little Chute hosting Spencer Columbus Catholic in Division 4. The Mustangs down 14-zip with 6 minutes left. Sam Merrifield, his pass is tipped but caught for the touchdown by Alex Miller. Little Chute back within 7. 3 minutes to go. Shane Schwaller, he's a baller, lunges in for the score to tie this one. We go to overtime. 4th and 20. The Rockets' Calvin Lenz looks deep, but it is incomplete. Little Chute on offense, and Schwaller ends it. Shut out until 6 minutes to go. Little Chute wins to advance to level 4. In Division 2, it was Menasha and Superior, a neutral site game over at DC Everest. Scoreless in the first half. Menasha on offense. Tyler Johnson takes the play into his own hands and his own legs. The QB keeper, 66 yards for the score, and Menasha goes on to win 21-7. To Division 3 college football, Oshkosh versus Eau Claire in the WIAC. The Titans already up 7-0 when Brett Casper looks and finds Joe Summers. Summers gets the 35-yard score, his second TD of the day. Oshkosh up 14-zip. The Blue Golds would edge a bit closer. Eau Claire's Joel Newman rolls right. The pass tipped but caught by Chris Cummings. A 7-point game. However, Oshkosh then puts on the afterburners. They score 38 by the half and beat Eau Claire 52-13. Over in the Midwest Conference, St. Norbert riding a 3-game win streak facing Macalester College. Down 7-zip in the second, the Green Knights get a big play on special teams. The punt block by Dan Egan. Zach Klarkowski scoops it, scores it. That ties the game 7-7. However, Macalester would come and answer right back. A touchdown drive. Samson Bialystock connects with Victor Bordeaux, and the Green Knights fall 21-13. College hockey, St. Norbert facing Finlandia for the second night in a row. Last night's final was 7-1. Tonight, another lamp lighting festival for the Green Knights. Second minute of play, and Michael Hill bangs it into the back of the net. That's his first goal this season, 1-0 for the defending national champs. Later on in the first period, the assist from Cullen Bradshaw, Eric Cooper lights the lamp. The final score, get this, 12-zip in hockey, the defending champs.
Wow.
Looking like they might march towards yet another national championship.
What a
over there in
win.
De Pere.
Yeah, all right, thanks. Well,